This is Architecture 360, our weekly look at architecture, places, and spaces. I'm Lee Bey. AMC's Mad Men is in its final season. For 7 years now, this show has been an interesting glimpse back at not only the mores, dress, and style of mid-century America, but for me at least, the period's architecture and design. But almost 30 years ago, NBC took on the same period, creating a show that was as good or better when it came to recreating the look and feel of the Kennedy-era 1960s. That show was Crime Story, a dark crime drama about a Chicago cop, Lieutenant Mike Torello, in one of Dennis Farina's earliest and best roles, tracking the rise of a hood named Ray Luca. The show premiered in 1986, lasted 2 seasons, and is all but forgotten today. But the skinny ties, the boomerang-shaped furniture, the glassy modern architecture, it was all there. That and some pretty good punching, shooting, and car chases. The lost beauty of Crime Story. Next on Architecture 360. Right now, I'm watching the beginning of Crime Story's 2-hour pilot. Now, you can't see what I'm watching, so I have to describe it to you. It's night. The camera begins with a low shot, slipping past the chrome-accented rear fender of a late 50s or early 60s Ford. That's Del Shannon's hit Runaway, remade by Shannon himself for the show. The camera glides up, and we see 2 men inside the car with dark fedoras. They're cops. They're in a restaurant parking lot. They get a robbery call. They blow their horn, and a third man, dressed just like them, who's in line for takeout, races outside to get in the car. The cops tear off in a low, wide shot that shows the exterior of the Atomic Age restaurant. Sea greens, pinks, glass, globe lights. You get the picture. As the car speeds out of the frame, the camera lingers on the restaurant. It's Jansen's at 99th and Western. It's still there today in all its mid-century glory, but for Crime Story's purposes, the stage and the time have been set.
Hey, you. You hurt anybody else, when this is over, I'm gonna find what you love the most, and I'm gonna kill it. Your mother, your father, your dog. Don't matter what it is. It's dead.
The show has been twice reissued on DVD. Both prints are muddy and there are no extras, but at least the images survive. Crime Story shifted to Las Vegas for its second season, and the ratings went downhill, and perhaps some of the quality too. But watch it now, and you can see early elements of shows and movies that were to come later, like The Sopranos, and the film Casino, which, like Crime Story, used the story of Chicago mobster Anthony Spilotro as an inspiration. Well, that's all for now. Join me next time on Architecture 360. I'm Lee Bey.